Hi, this is Ko Song Jie and Ng Yi Yang, and we would like to talk about our culture and our family history. So let's start with the Ng family first. So my name is Ng Yi Yang, and my family consists of 5 members. My mom, my dad, I have a younger brother and an elder sister. We're Chinese, Cantonese plus Hokkien. Somehow, all of us wear specs. So, this is my father's side. My grandparents, they actually involved themselves in the sewing business. My dad is the youngest among all 4 children. My aunt is doing business. One is doing business, one is teaching, while my uncle is selling books. Yeah, so you can see from this family tree that I have a lot of cousins. Yeah. So my grandfather, he came from China, and my grandmother, she came from Johor. Both of them met each other and lived together in Ipoh, Perak. Since young, my dad had to work hard. Among the 4 siblings, the boys will involve themselves in the packaging and distributing of the clothes, while the girls have to help in sewing. My dad told me once that when he was young, he met with flood twice, so they had to move all their stores and packages from the ground floor to the 4th floor. He said that it was an unforgettable memory. It's very tiring. Years passed by. My dad, he started his middle school and high school. So he was actually like a bad man that time. By day, he was studying. Well, at night, sometimes he's a lab assistant, sometimes a clerk, sometimes a teacher. After that, he moved to KL to further his studies and graduated then. He then became a consultant and later on became a dad. Yeah. My dad told me that his life growing up was hard, but we have to break the barrier and surpass. Because life is challenging, but you still have to move on. This is my mom's side. She's the second eldest, so my grandparents, they also involved themselves in the sewing business, and there is a lot of siblings. When my grandparents were young, they met with the Darurat, which is like a curfew, and they have to move to Jinjiang. They were forced to move to Jinjiang. So by then, the 7 siblings, they had to separate up because my grandparents can't take care of all of them. Some went with my aunt, but all of them got proper education. After that, my mom furthered her studies and finally became a proper teacher. She said that growing up wasn't really tough for her because her parents gave her a suitable environment to grow up in. Our traditions and culture is that every once in a while we would take the time to go back to Ipoh to visit our relatives. Other than that, we will also gather around and have a meal or two. Yeah. 团圆饭, that's what they call it in Chinese.
Now it's my turn. So for the core family, we are quite fair people, and if we get tan, we return back to normal 2 weeks later. And for our culture, when we reach home, we need to announce that we are home to our parents so that they know. Because I'm from a Christian family, we have to go to church every Sunday and we pray before we eat. As typical as we Chinese people are, we We must respect our elders, and studies are very important to us. For my father's side of the story, my grandfather came from China and my grandmother came from Malacca. The interesting thing is my grandmother, she was sold to a couple before she was 5 years old. My grandparents have a successful business in supermarkets. They have set up a few stores. They also helped set up the Chinese Assembly Hall in Selangor by opening accounts and finding a location. My grandparents have 3 children, my father and 2 aunts. One of my aunts is a top student in Kuan Ching High, and my father had a chance to study in USA. When my father came back, he was shocked because his family was bankrupt due to the economic crisis in Malaysia. My grandparents was forced to sell 13 stores to Parkson, and they weren't happy about it. My grandfather, when he recovered, he picked up singing and he was really successful at it. He won several competitions and was undefeated since then. As for my mother's side of the story, my grandfather, he came from Old Klang Road and my grandmother from Alostar. My grandfather was a mobile butcher who ride on a motorbike, and my grandmother was a tailor. She started small and then she became a professional tailor, and later she opened up a school to teach people about sewing. But she stopped when she was married to my grandfather, and she became a housewife since then. When my mother was born, when she was 1 year old, May 13 happened, and because she liked to cry a lot, they hid her under a tree, and luckily by then she was sleeping soundly. When my mother was 18 years old, my grandfather passed away, and she had to give tuition lessons to earn a living. But after that, when she had a career, she was really successful, and because of that, hard work pays off. So I conclude the summary of the video. Thank you.